today, what I want to do is find out if your bog standard saloon car is as good as a decent hot hatch. So what I've done is one of my mates, Margs, was in one of my other videos, which I drag raced my Audi TT that I used to own against his VW Golf GTI. Now since then I've moved away from that car and I've gone and bought myself a BMW 320D. The reason for that is because the TT was too expensive to run for the job that I was doing. And this is a situation that obviously a lot of people are in. They want to downgrade their car so that they save money, but they also, like me, want to have a bit of fun. And what I want to find out is this car too much of a shortfall compared to like a decent hot hatch, a decent performance car, or is it just too boring and too slow to match that? So that's what I want to find out. So I'm currently on a back road doing 43 miles an hour, and the car is returning nearly 53 miles to the gallon, which obviously being a diesel is a lot better than the TT that I had, and also a lot better than what Margs will be getting in his Golf. So in terms of economy, it makes a lot of sense. This car saves me a lot of money. It saves me, I spend 2/3 of what I used to spend in petrol compared to the TT. I don't know how much Marg spends, but all I know is this car is a lot more economical than that car. So what I like about this car specifically is the fact that BMWs are rear-wheel drive, obviously, so that means the power goes to the back, and that makes for a really good driving experience because you're managing essentially the grip at the back rather than at the front, and that's always more fun because you can get the back to slide a little bit. You get less understeer as well because the front wheels are less overloaded than they are in a car with front wheel drive or even four wheel drive. And it's more of a traditional driving experience. It's enjoyable, but the only problem I do have with it is the fact that this engine is so boring. It's a 2-litre diesel and the problem is the power is only from about 2,000 to about 3,500, and after then it has nothing. So there's no point in revving it out. So if you rev it all the way out, like, it just doesn't make a nice noise. On the brakes, on the brakes hard. Shit up his eyes. The car's just so bloody good to drive. The engine's shit, but the actual driving experience is so good. There you go, back's got it. So this is an exhaust comparison between my car and the GTI. So this is how the BMW sounds. Go on, Margs. Listen to that. That is a stunning noise. That is a noise of true power and performance. And this is how the GTI sounds. Yeah, go. So he's got a bit of a limiter on his exhaust, unfortunately. And I actually think the BMW does sound just a little bit better than that, I must admit. So now I'm going to have a go in the GTI. So if you can chuck me the keys, Margs. What's that?
You miss your TT?
Yes, I do. So the first thing I realise when I get in this car is how much I miss my old Audi TT. Because essentially it was exactly the same engine as this car, except this car is actually slightly lighter, I think, and but it is front wheel drive. It does feel a little bit quicker when you put your foot down. Apologies for the driving position, I'm not allowed to move at the seat, so I'm driving a little bit like one of them. So there you go, that's how Margs likes it. And this is Margs, by the way, if you want to be on camera. Say hello now.
It's really I'd rather be anonymous.
Anonymous, fair enough.
You can blur me out.
Blur your face out then, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, in terms of fuel economy, what are you getting on this? How do I check? So you're getting 19.7 miles per gallon. But to be fair, we have been driving this car pretty fast. I was pretty much holding him up earlier because I was driving my car so slowly to try and get those economy figures to demonstrate for the video. Obviously you weren't doing that, so that's fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, it's just much more relaxing to drive in terms of the automatic gearbox. It's got a much more powerful, or feels like a lot more powerful engine. The diesel is low down power, whereas it's got loads of power right at the top, which is way nicer, I think. Although you use a lot more fuel trying to get that performance. But yeah, it's a really different driving experience. You sit a lot higher, I think, but then I think that's also due to the fact the seat's a little bit higher. Pedals are a lot nicer. The interior feels a little bit more expensive than the BMW, believe it or not, even though the BMW new is more expensive. It's a much nicer place to be, I think. The only issue the only thing I miss about this car over the BMW is the fact that it's not four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. For example, if you go around a corner like this, so you stick it in first gear, you can't, although to be fair, you can't get the arse out, but to be fair, the front diff on this car is so good that actually it grips so well. It's not appropriate to be drifting on a public road. So to be fair, I think for someone like me who is just a total idiot, this car is probably a bit better in terms of I don't do things that are dangerous in it, which is good. So yeah. In terms of what happens when you absolutely rag this car, well, it makes some really nice noises actually. It's got a just a 2 litre turbocharged VW engine, which is shared in the S3, Golf R. It's all in different stages of tune within those cars, and same with the TT that I had. But it's a lovely engine and it makes a really good noise, especially when you change up. On the brakes. This is not my flipping car. I do apologise, Marks. There we go. Love the noise it makes. What are you doing? Yeah. So when you go around the corner, or a corner, because of the front diff, you can just plant it and it just hangs on. This is how Golf GTI corners when it's going quickly. Safe, secure, but arguably not much fun. And this is how the BMW corners when you're driving it fast.
It's one of the worst I've ever come across. It's a shocker.
So as you saw in the little demonstration I've just done there, the VW has very safe and secure handling, whereas this is a little bit more tail happy. You can get it to misbehave if you want, which I love. That's part of the reason why BMWs are the ultimate driving machine. It isn't just marketing bollocks, it's true. They are really good cars to drive. Right, we're going to see, to finish off the video, which car's faster. You count it in, mate.
3, 2, 1, go.
So we're both in third gear. Oh no, there's no bloody contest. Oh no. 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to jump on him because I've got rear wheel drive, so the power goes to the back where the weight is. The problem is, he's got more power than I do, and he's lighter. So there's just no contest. Oh, now we're doing silly speed. That's so easy. Right, enough. So yeah, I lost. I've lost. There's no contest, and I need to buy a new car. As simple as that. Oh, what a shame. I actually genuinely thought it would be a little bit closer than that, but it's not at all. There is no contest to be had. So to conclude then, I think that this car is comparable to the GTI or any sort of medium speed performance car. However, it drives really nice. It's got rear-wheel drive, it's manual, it's an involving drive, but the problem is it isn't fast enough to be a performance car. So as a result, I don't think it's an alternative to a Golf GTI, and I'm very disappointed now. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to buy a new one because this is just not good enough. You know, I'm not as quick as my mate, and that's not very good. So there you go. Goodbye, Margs. Off you go. And there you go.